my soulmate to love me. She came back to love me. Only God knows all the work it takes to heal a
at the age of 5. Bass guitar, 5th grade at APAC. And then I started kind of creating music around 6th grade. Music wasn't really in my family before, you know, me and my brother and my sister.
So you was the first to do it?
Kind of, yeah. Okay. Instrumental music, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so in school, did you participate in any bands or anything like that?
Oh yeah,
Did you take up an instrument? Like, how'd you get introduced to the cello other than you saying your brother played, right?
Right. My mom basically gave me a option. You know, you could play cello or violin. Which one would you rather play? And this was when I was 5.
Okay.
So it's more like, yeah, I'm gonna play cello because, you know, Tim played cello, or, you know.
Okay.
I'm sure that was the reason at the time.
Okay, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So
left Mississippi around 25, went to California with about $400.
Okay. Cool.
So all my music stuff, was kind of fed up with Mississippi at the moment. Didn't finish school and just kind of got out of there. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Spent 1.5 years in California, then I moved to Georgia. We lived in Marietta for about 7 years, and now I'm up in D.C.
Okay. All right, so what genre would you consider your music?
It's classic entertainment. Well, you know, so it's a classic genre. It's a music of my own. You know, a lot of people, you hear the sounds from other stuff as well, but I make soul music.
Okay.
You know, so
Gotcha.
I make the track myself. You know, that's why it's hard for me to record just anything. I have to, you know, really feel the track, or, you know, it got to be a soul track. It got to, you know, touch me really for me to really record it.
Okay, so you consider yourself soul music, and you feel like, by you saying that you feel like music should touch your soul, that means you believe in lyrics and
definitely,
sounds and natural sounds and vibes. So with that being said, how do you feel about today's hip hop and today's music, period? Like, do you feel like there are any real artists out there, like you said about yourself, like you do it all? You make, if you make your beats, you can sing your songs, you can rap over your songs, you play instruments. How do you feel about just the talent out there in today's hip hop, today's music scene? Do you think everybody's just a clone, or they're just a face and the talent is actually behind them? Do you feel like it's any real artists out there nowadays?
It's kind of a strong question, but I respect the game. I respect how it's changed. I understand, you know, like I said, it'll never be the same. But no, I'm not able to connect with the music, you know, like I used to be able to. Like I grew up on, I was different. But from Outkast, Scarface, Snoop Dogg, 8 Ball and MJG, you know, the Southern, I grew up on that. Even Wyclef, you know, even my producing stuff from Timberland. I was, you know, I was brought up in that era. So a lot of that was soul music. You know, everybody kind of, or most of them.
Yeah, Timberland's a beast. I've
they
seen
wrote
videos
their
of
stuff.
him being in the studio just cooking up a beat, and he's really feeling what he's doing.
And all the way from the music to the lyrics, though. You know, even the story that they telling. Nas, you know, as far as his writing skills. You know this is Nas from soul to soul. You know, he wrote this, and that's the connection that you had with from the artist to the, you know, the listener. Was that, all right, I know that you wrote this. Now it's more like you performed this. And that's the connection that's lost. More like, yeah, you performed it, but the lyrics is not from your soul. But I still, like I said, it'll never be the same. One day somebody will probably write some songs that I'll sing, you know. And I'll participate in it. But only to a certain degree, you know. Because that's what my whole goal was about, for setting up Klaccik Entertainment, to where I have complete freedom with the music that I push out.
Being that it's an entertainment company, do you think that the entertainment industry is overrated? Do you think, since you have such deep feeling for music, do you even want to deal with the stress that comes along with it, or do you just want to keep music to yourself? Like
both ways you got to work hard. Either way it go, you know. So the long is either you could the short route really don't exist anymore. So you really have to take the long route. You got to hustle this shit yourself,
right.
or it's not gonna happen. You know, and this from as an artist, as a producer, and you know, it struggles in different places. Where I was always told you got to go to a big city in order for your music to make it.
Okay, with that being said, do you think that's true?
I know that's true.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, I know that's true because
it's about you need to go where the people are.
There are great musicians. Well, no, I can't say to make it, or at least to make a decent living off music. You know, at least to make a living off the people.
That's what I'm saying. You got to go where the people are.
Where people are. You know, in Mississippi, yeah, dude, there's not enough people, not enough money to really feed a musician.
Right.
You know, so, and Mississippi got the best musicians. Dude.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say. You know, we've birthed the best musicians.
That's what
from singers, rappers, artists.
Jazz. Even when you go back in the day.
Man.
That's cool. Did you ever think about giving up?
No. Okay. And going back to, like I said, what I was saying about the cello, at that young age, I started playing with older musicians. They were like 40 and 50. So I knew that, like, I don't know, it's almost like I knew then, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take, as soon as I get a chance to take a break from this shit, I'm going to take a break from this shit.
Okay.
You know, and then because I didn't necessarily like playing the cello growing up. I was kind of made to play it a little bit, but I didn't like it. And I didn't really accept it until I got to college and it was paying for shit.
Did you play any other instruments?
I started producing around 6th grade. Well, I played bass guitar around 5th grade at Power APAC. Shout out to Dr. Combs. And I started like creating melodies on a digital instrument, you know, keyboard. At Performing Arts as well, at APAC Performing Arts Complex in my piano theory class. And that's 6th grade is when I started creating music. And we had 3 levels in our theory classes. And in my theory class, of course, yeah, you had the other, you know, pianists or vocalists that were, you know, supreme in what they do, even the pianists. But being creative was something that everybody wasn't. And I learned that young, that I was different from everybody else. And this is, you know, creative with music, because when I make something, we all had pianos, and the teacher at the end of the class, she would press the button and you could hear what everybody was doing. And I was mainly, of course, the only one you hear beat coming from, versus you're supposed to hear piano, you know, practicing scales and stuff like that. So I knew then that I had a dream or a special gift dealing with music. So that's when music and veterinary kind of started to fuse and battle with, all right, which one is it going to be?
Okay, so what's your ultimate dreams for Klaccik Entertainment?
My ultimate dream is to be an international sanctuary where, you know, artists, musicians can come and be creative and get their dream out, but never give up. No, it's hard as far as even how do you, like you said, how do you get to the point to where you can quit your job and stuff? Yeah, I was planning. You know, we were breeding Dobermans in Georgia before we left.
Yeah.
You know, and that was how I was able to buy a camera to take my self-value, consistent self-improvement. It's your self-value. You know, how do I up my self-value? I was a vet tech or vet assistant at the time, $10 an hour. It's like, shit, I need to be $20 an hour, $25 an hour. How do I get my self-value up to where I'm at least making $20 to $25 an hour? I became a photographer in Atlanta. Atlanta is always looking for photographers. So that was more of, okay, at least it's now up to my hustle. You know, I got to the point to where, all right, I got everything I need. I can depart from the job and see if I can, you know, skate on the photography hustle.
Right.
You know, $25 an hour, you know. See if I can get, 4 clients a day, maybe 4 hours a day at the minimum.
Yeah.
Didn't quite work out. We ended up moving from Georgia before we even got the ball rolling all the way.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was where it started. How to up my self-value.
Yeah.
Then,
what type of song you think Klaccik Entertainment need to make that breakthrough, or should I say, win that Grammy?
man, I got the soul songs to win the Grammy. Is more on just, you know, getting them out to the people. And that's the process that, you know, this year we just, you know, acquired our in-house recording facility.
Okay.
So right now we're starting a brand new journey. It's 2017, starting a new journey of we're focusing on New York. So we will be filming ourselves and starting a YouTube channel, moving to New York. We're not really, you know, there's no big break really anymore. You know, it's really more of you figure out your vision and what you want to do, and that's what you do, and you'll succeed from that. So I don't really see what somebody, I don't really know. I've never been in the position to be offered a deal or anything like that. So I don't know how to feel like, all right, that's what I'm waiting on. I've kind of, ever since I started my sophomore year in college on pushing as a record label, as a producer, I've always been, you know, as far as independent minded. I don't really need a label or anything. I don't need a big deal. I'm not looking for a record deal. I'm trying to figure out how to get this slow grind. And the game has changed to where you're dealing with streams and social media and stuff now. So it's all your visuals. You know, I wasn't on my visuals before. Now I've acquired everything that I need to make my presentation perfect. You know, well, I can't say perfect, but it'll make it where it's, you know, it's pleasing to me enough. I feel confident with it.